Welcome to a few moments together on the Parsha. I'm standing here on this beautiful Rosh Chodesh day on the porch of our apartment in Yerushalayim, Er HaKodesh in Arnona, and it's a fulfillment of the dream of the time that Klal Yisrael will one day all come to Yerushalayim and live in their gardens and plant the soil and see beautiful, beautiful things. Parshas Noach, what a gift to be able to learn Parshas Noach. And I think everyone is aware of that very famous first Rashi where it says, Eila toldos Noach. These are the generations of Noach. Noach ish tzaddik tomim hayo b'dorosav. He was a completely righteous man in his generation. And Rashi, on that pasuk, when it says b'dorosav, makes a comment which has two sides to it. Rashi says, when it says b'dorosav, that in his generation he was a tzaddik, but if he would have lived in the generation of Abraham, he wouldn't have been considered anything. That's the second way of looking at it. Of course, the first way of looking at it is in the positive. If in his generation, when everyone was wicked, he was a tzaddik, then certainly he would have been a tzaddik even greater if he lived later on in the time of the righteous people like Abraham. So Rashi gives us two views, one positive and the other one negative. And which one should we adopt? That is Noach living in a time when he was a tzaddik in a positive way, or maybe it was even negative? That is something that is open for discussion. But when Noach was a tzaddik, where did the concept of his becoming a tzaddik, what did he do that made him into a tzaddik? You go back to Parshas Bereshis, we see that the last pasuk right before Noach, it says that Hashem wanted to destroy the whole world. But the last pasuk says, V'Noach motza chen be'enei Hashem. Noach found favor in Hashem's eyes. Why did he find favor? What did he do that found favor? For that you have to go back a little further back in Parshas Bereshis, where it talks about Noach's birth. And it says that when Noach was born, Ze Yinachamenu, this one is going to comfort us, Mima'ase Yodenu, Ume Itzvon Yodenu, Mima'asenu, Ume Itzvon Yodenu. He is going to comfort us from our sadness and from the sad work of our hands. Take a look at the Rashi over there, who quotes from the Medrash. Why is Noach considered such a way that he was able to bring us comfort from our hands and the sadness of our work? Because Ad Sheba Noach Lo Haya Klei Macharesha. Until Noach came along, there wasn't any plow instruments. In order for people to work the land, they had to dig with their hands, get into the ground. You know how difficult that is. And as the Medrash points out, it brought out that their hands were calloused and painful, and the earth didn't produce what Klal Yisrael, what anybody wanted. It was all filled with thorns and thistles and not positive produce. But when Noach invented the plow, he was Zeyinachamenu Mima'asenu Me'itzvon Yodenu. This one brought us comfort. And therefore, perhaps that's why it says, V'Noach motza chen be'enei Hashem. The Gemara in Sanhedrin on Daf Kuf Ches, when it talks about Noach finding favor in the eyes of Hashem, the Perushim on that pasuk, which explains that Noach found favor in the eyes of Hashem, The Gemara says, Af al Noach nechtam gezar din. Even on Noach was the pronounced law that Hashem was going to destroy everything. It was going to happen to Noach too. Ella, the only thing is, Shem motzo chen, he found favor. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, Hashem ki nichamti ki asisim, I have regret that I made humanity. V'Noach motzo chen be'enei Hashem, but Noach found favor in the eyes of Hashem. What does that mean, that Noach found favor in the eyes of Hashem? What are the eyes of Hashem that Noach found favor in? Now it's interesting to note that when we think about Noach finding favor in the eyes of Hashem, we're always interpreting it that Noach was the one who did something that Hashem looked favorably upon it. That's a good interpretation. We already explained that Hashem was in favor of Noach because he helped humanity. It's unbelievable. When a human being helps other human beings, that's matzachein be'enei Hashem. That finds favor in the eyes of Hashem. But there's another way to interpret it. When Noach looked, so to speak, at the eyes of Hashem, and of course, it's all metaphorical. It doesn't mean that he actually saw Hashem's eyes, but he saw from the creation that Hashem made, that everything Hashem does has a good purpose and positive ideology. And he said to himself, look, if Hashem gave us an earth which produces wonderful things, it's got to be that he also gave us the ability to think of a way to make it easy to produce these things. I just have to find what Hashem really wants for me. I have to find what does Hashem want for me to make the world a better place. And Noach then discovered the plow. When he looked at Hashem's eyes, so to speak, when he looked at what Hashem created, he said, Hashem wants me to do something good. My purpose in life is to do good, to bring favor to humanity, to make the world a better place to live. The Noach motzachein be'enei Hashem means Noach found that in Hashem's eyes it's favorable to help others, and therefore when a human being helps others, Hashem considers him a tzaddik. And even though it's possible that Noach, had he lived in another time, might not have been as great a tzaddik, but in his time, there's no question that he was a tzaddik tamim b'dorosav. In his generation, he was righteous, and he saw the beauty and favor in Hashem's eyes. But Noach matzachein, he looked at Hashem's eyes and said, you see what Hashem wants? Hashem wants us to do good. Hashem wants us to make the world a better place. Hashem wants us to find favor in His eyes by helping other human beings. And Klal Yisrael, when we learn the Torah from the very beginning of all humanity, is to find favor in all human beings' eyes, but certainly through the study of the Torah, the learning of the Torah, the in-depth thinking, like Rashi does and like the Gemara does. What does it mean? Noach matzachein be'enei Hashem. He looked at Hashem's eyes and saw that Hashem wants us to do kindness. You know, when we say Berachas Hamazon, Hazonas ha'olam kulo b'tuvo b'chein, b'chesed u'v'rachamim. Hashem looks at us and sees that it's favorable to help people get Zones ha'olam kulo b'tuvo b'chein b'chesed u'v'rachamim. And when the Kohanim bless us and they say vichuneka, it means you should develop chen. You should develop a sense of favor. See that favor in Hashem's eyes? Hashem should bless you that you too should have favor in your eyes looking upon others and humanity. What a beautiful way to understand Parshas Noach on this Rosh Chodesh, in which we ask Hashem to bless us with all good things in the coming month, in the coming months, in the coming year, in the months in which we're going to be starting at some point to say the Saint Talmud Mater, so Hashem can help bring out the plants from the ground that He promised would come from the ground. If we find favor in others' eyes, let's try to work at finding favor in Hashem's eyes by being kind and doing the chen, Bichuneka, Noach matzah chen, because that's what's in the eyes of Hashem, and that's what we can accomplish. I want to take this opportunity to wish everybody to be blessed with Vichuneka, and we should be blessed b'chein b'chesed u'v'rachamim. Hashem should bless all of Klal Yisrael to see times that are going to be filled with peace and growth and wonderful opportunity to bring about that the world is a peaceful place to live in, and Klal Yisrael's beautiful, beautiful heritage is capable of bringing about all these wonderful things in Olam Hazeh. So we should be Zocher LaOlam Haba. Shabbat Shalom Uvorach Chodesh Tov. Shabbat Shalom. Everything should be good for all of Klal Yisrael.